Well, it looks like former President Trump is going to return to social media, and his advisor says it'll be on a platform of his own. Let's take a look.
Trump spokesman Jason Miller told Fox News former President Trump will launch his own social media platform in 2 to 3 months.
This is something that I think will be the hottest ticket in social media. It's going to completely redefine the game, and everybody is going to be waiting and watching to see what exactly President Trump does, but it will be his own platform.
And this is how Trump, famous for his tweets, will make his return to social media. Twitter banned Trump in January. He had about 90 million followers at the time. Miller did not say what the name of the company will be, but he said a lot of companies have approached the former president to make it happen. Several social media companies silenced Trump following the breach of the Capitol on January 6th, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Snapchat. Trump hasn't said whether he will return to other platforms conservatives favor, such as Gab, MeWe, or Parler. Last month, Trump speculated in an interview with Newsmax that Parler couldn't mechanically handle the number of users he would bring. And recently, Trump said he hasn't decided whether he will run for president in 2024. His first priority is to see what he can do with the House. The advisor said Trump will make endorsements for Republican challengers in the 2022 primaries. He said over 20 senators and 50 Congress members have called or visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago seeking his endorsement, one that Miller calls the most important political endorsement in world history. Miller said to pay attention to Georgia on Monday, March 22nd, because Trump is about to make a big endorsement.
Banned from Twitter and Facebook, former US President Donald Trump is planning to launch his own media platform. Trump's advisor Jason Miller told Fox News that the new site would be live in the next 2 to 3 months.
I do think that we're going to see President Trump returning to social media in probably about 2 or 3 months here with his own platform. And this is something that I think will be the hottest ticket in social media. It's going to completely redefine the game.
Miller provided no further details, and no comment was immediately available from officials with the Trump Organization. Trump was suspended from Twitter, Facebook, and other social media sites after the January 6th attack on the Capitol. He was accused of inciting the violent mob, but critics of the move say legislators, not tech giants, should decide any curbs to free expression.
A small handful of powerful social media monopolies controls a vast portion of all public and private communications in the United States. And we know what they are. We don't have to name them. We're going to give you a complete listing. The choices that Twitter makes when it chooses to suppress, edit, blacklist, shadow, ban are editorial decisions, pure and simple. They're editorial decisions. In those moments, Twitter ceases to be a neutral public platform and they become an editor with a viewpoint. And I think we can say that about others also, whether you're looking at Google, whether you're looking at Facebook.
Twitter is reviewing its policy and said last week that it would seek public input on when and how it should ban world leaders. Facebook has asked its independent oversight board to decide whether Trump's ban should stand.
Donald Trump will soon be breaking his silence on social media. But this time, the former US president will be using his own platform. A Trump advisor says he's planning to launch a media platform, and the site could be live within months. Simon Marks joins us from Washington, D.C. for more on this. Simon, Mr. Trump wants to get back online on his own terms, it seems, but are there any details of what it could look like?
Well, very, very few. I mean, according to Jason Miller, who is a top Trump aide and insider to the operation that the former president has set up at his Mar-a-Lago golf club in Florida, there have been countless meetings, he says, with industry executives and others. There is a plan, he says, to launch what is going to be a massive social media platform. The next big thing, he insists, in the world of social media that the former president will be bankrolling. Now, industry analysts say this would be a very, very ambitious target for the former president, starting any kind of social media platform from scratch with no track record beyond his record of individual and personal tweets, no track record of operating a business in the social media space. And skeptics point to President Trump's previous forays into various arrays of business before he became president of the United States. Trump University, Trump Steaks, a whole variety of different businesses that were launched and sputtered along for a while and then collapsed. So whether we ever actually see this or not is a big question. Certainly this news has galvanized Washington and politicos here in the nation's capital. But will we actually eventually see it? We're going to have to keep an eye.
And do you think then that a political comeback is looking likely for the next election for the former president?
Well, the former president would argue he's never gone away politically. He continues to give interviews on a fairly regular basis to sympathetic television networks here in the United States. It seems absolutely clear that he is preparing to endorse candidates in primary contests and then in the 2022 election cycle here, because remember, while the presidential election is now a relatively recent memory, very soon we're all going to be focusing on those midterm elections next year. 1/3 of the Senate, the entire House of Representatives up for grabs. And Donald Trump absolutely intends to continue playing a role in endorsing Republicans who are loyal to him. He sees that absolutely as evidence of the stranglehold that he retains over the Republican Party. A social media platform that he was on would certainly help him communicate with all of those loyalists. But even absent from Twitter, he certainly doesn't appear to have lost their support or their loyalty. And those people who have turned against him are being warned that they will pay the price for their treachery.
Thanks for getting us up to speed as always. Simon Marks speaking to us from the U.S. Capitol.